man said is a high for the day. Kind of hoping that we're going to get on past, and I believe we are going to. Barbara's prediction today, 21, mine, 22, and I won yesterday. So I think we're going to have a good week this week. You never know. But in the meantime, well, I'd better do this, I think.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and believe me, just absolutely elated this morning to catch up with a good friend of ours, Tim Steinreich from the band The Mighty One. Now, for those of you that are joining us on Facebook Live this morning, nice to have you guys along, it really, really is. And I tell you what, if you're going to look over later in YouTube, you know what to do, right? Yeah, sub, thumb, bell. Bingo, bell notifications when we have important people like Tim Steinreich join us, the Mighty One, coming out of British Columbia. Believe me, this is going to be fun. Let's kick it off with the title track, The Torch of Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
So how you been keeping, brother man?
I've been keeping really good, my friend. Really good. Yeah, things are moving very, very quickly right now.
Very cool. Very cool. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine.
Okay. Introduce me.
He comes out of Italy. His name is Chris Cattina.
How are you?
Okay.
Now, his father was a world famous opera singer. I think like Pavarotti and somebody like that. You know what I mean? One of those guys. So he was brought up in the game, and for a number of years he was actually doing production, set design, everything for opera shows, and they were packing the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he also has had his own bands, and he's worked with people out of bands like Europe, for instance, back in the day. You know what I mean? So he's been around. He knows his stuff, and he's got a hit track right now, to be honest, called Freight Train. And believe me, bro, I think you two would get along. And really, I think if you ever want to go to Italy, there's a damn good show in the makings right there.
Wow, you know what? I'd love to go to Italy. We've actually got a lot of bands there. We were in a magazine there called Rock Hard Italy, which is sort of their hard rock and metal magazine. And since then, been connecting with a lot of folks there. So, hey man, you are the ultimate matchmaker. I would love for you to make that match too, because between Gear and Jorg and oh man, I'm trying to remember all the rest of them, but those are the two that stick out. That are these amazing matches that you've made for me, for the Mighty One, and beautiful things are coming out of all of those relationships.
Look, speaking of York, he's actually online right now watching. And Barbara Lynn, nice to have you on board too. Hey, brother man. Now, at the same time, let's not forget, there's Steve Lynch in there as well.
Steve, of course, Steve. Yes, and I got to get to know Steve a little bit better, but wow, I mean, one of my favorite videos of all time that and bands that he was part of all time, and so to know him and have him in the network is just such an honor.
Believe me, it is a lot of fun. Oh, I'm sure we introduced you to Dave Evans as well, didn't we?
Of course, Dave and I, although we haven't talked in person yet, we have been chatting online quite a bit. I foresee, us going down to Mexico and doing a show together for sure. If we don't come over there to New Zealand and Australia.
But believe me, this is a family we're congregating right now. As you know, brother man, you're part of the family. We want to do the show. We've been talking about it for a number now. So
yes.
And believe me, we've got a few friends that we could mash together and we could make it one hell of a show, if you think about it.
Oh, man, amazing. I'm so looking forward to that. Hey, imagine what our family tree would look like.
Yeah, ugly. It's got me there. Of course, it would do that to me, wouldn't it? Just while I'm looking for something a little special, it just stops. So, tell you what, I'm going to throw this at you, see what you think, and believe me, I think it's rather amusing, actually, seeing, to be quite honest, we're talking to this man.
You're listening to the Mighty One on the Modern Rock Show.
Yeah, of course, you know, we got so many of those that we play here at Galaxy, and we're talking today to Tim Steinreich from the Mighty One, and it is an absolute pleasure to talk to Tim all the way over there in British Columbia. Hey, brother man, how are you?
I am fantastic.
You're looking great. You really, really are. Tell me, I can't keep my eyes off your T-shirt. What does that say right there?
Oh, it's called Drinking Rum, and it's a rum drinking pirate shirt.
I like it. I really, really do. I actually thought it was one of those American gridiron teams to start with, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
Yeah.
No. It's where, you know what? I'm a pirate. I'm a Viking. I'm many things, but it's all part of being the Mighty One.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. I really do. The multi-personality of the Mighty One, it all comes into play. By the way, how is Bob?
Bob is fantastic. Bob is working away today. He works in Vancouver's film industry. I believe he's set painting today, so he's painting some kind of amazing set. He's got this artistic side to him that, he can make a piece of wood look like a piece of concrete or metal, or just by putting stuff on it. He's actually, not only is he a great drummer, but he's also an amazing artist with paint.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And, of course, Playboy, he's doing okay?
Playboy's doing good. I saw him the other day. We were at an event, the Rugby Sevens in Vancouver. We actually produced that event together. I got this great job of going behind the scenes and going into the stands with the fans as they're dressed up in all of their outfits, and talking to them and filming them doing crazy stuff. And as the day wears on, of course the beers kick in, and it gets more and more and more and more entertaining. But yes, Playboy was there, Scott was there, we hung out, and that was amazing. And actually, Gustavo was there too.
Nice. And speaking of Gustavo, how is the brother man?
He is amazing. He's amazing. Things are really starting to ramp up again for us in the concert production world and in the corporate production world. So, he's mixing us. He actually mixed a show. He mixed a live show. 3 bands. Was it last Saturday at the Rickshaw Theater, where we recently did that live stream from? He mixed these 3 bands, and it was amazing. He's such a talented mixer.
Brilliant.
And I know you appreciate that because you're the same.
Yeah, believe me, bro, I really, really would. Merv Pinney's joining us, Kiwi artist, and believe me, extraordinary, really, really is. And believe me, it is a pleasure to have you on board, brother man. It really is. Now, Tim, we opened up the show with the torch of rock and roll. Now, when we first heard about the concept of this, well, it was a number of months ago. In fact, we're almost clocking up a couple of years now. I had this envisage, of course, of an Olympic torch kind of deal. And we were talking about doing a show and getting the show down here. And I'm thinking about how we're going to dress this up to make it look huge on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not like a Spinal Tap thing or something, right?
Yeah, exactly like that. Let fire and brimstone, the whole deal. Let's make it happen. Then I found out in reality what the torch was, and I think, well, Tim, you better explain this to my listeners because they're rather confused right now.
Well, the torch of rock and roll. I mean, on the album cover, if you've seen it, it's it's a Zippo lighter. And it just goes back to those days of when we used to go to shows, when you and I used to go to shows, because we've been around a little bit longer than your average kid. And we used to not have a Bic, we had a Zippo, because those, they had a nice big flame on them. And, so that's that's really what the torch of rock and roll is, as far as, you know, the visual of what that is. But on a deeper level, the torch of rock and roll is this fire that I've had burning inside of me since I was 13 years old, and I first listened to Kiss Destroyer, and it was this fire that was lit inside, and it still propels every part of my life. So it's really a fire of purpose, is what it is.
Now, Tim, you're not, not a stranger to the big show. I've got to be honest with you. You've worked with Paul Stanley from Kiss, Polygram Records and stuff like this. Give me a little insight. What is holding for the future right now? Are you looking at signing with a big deal? Are we doing a big release worldwide?
As a matter of fact, that release is ongoing. We signed with Europe. In Europe, we signed with Iron Maiden's promotions company, and distribution. And we signed a deal with them, I guess that would have been last year around this time. And that was for a worldwide release through the Sony Orchard label. And so they're taking care of that. And it's been worldwide, but the focus really for them has been in Europe. And now, just recently, I'm really, really proud to announce that we found a record company here in Vancouver. As a matter of fact, probably about 20 minutes from my house. And there's a gentleman that I've been observing for the last few years. His name is Mark Rosen. And Mark has a artist management company. Now, I was watching that for the last few years, and I went, really cool. I want to see what this guy's doing. I saw that he was doing a TV show, but I didn't really know what that was about. Anyways, a few weeks ago, I saw on social media a big announcement. Mark Rosen is announcing he is formed Big Records. And I'm like, cool name. And that's kind of exciting. And I reached out to him, and we had a meeting to see, what each other was doing. And we got along like right away. And I'm proud to say, not only are we signed with Big Records now for a release in North America, we are also working with Mark on all levels of what's happening with the band, as far as graphic art goes, as far as social media goes, as far as endorsements and sponsorships go. Every little piece that you could possibly think a record company would take care of, these guys take care of. But it's more of a partnership than it is them working for us or us working for them. But there's something really exciting inside of that I'll let you know about in a moment. Please go ahead.
Well, thank you, Tim. But at the same time, I couldn't be more happy for you, bro. This is exciting news. Just a question, though. Do we now have to go through your agent to connect?
Not at all. We're family, right? We're branches on the same tree, so there's never gonna be any kind of restriction. My door is always open.
Thank you, brother, man. Because believe me, I'll never say to you, talk to my people.
I know your people, though.
Yeah, you do. That's what I was going to say. You do. Donnie Coulter's joining us. Nice to have you on board, Donnie. And believe me, it's a great day. Any day that we have you joining us here with Tim Steinreich. Now, we were talking about introducing a few people to you, and of course I was talking about Chris Catena coming out of Italy. But you also mentioned Germany there. Now, believe me, one of the very first bands that I ever interviewed was a band called Kill Code. And believe me, Rob Noxious, what a great guy. He is huge drummer, huge in the drumming world.
Yes, absolutely.
We'd love to introduce you to him. And there's a band that is coming out of the UK right now that we're going to be interviewing in the near future called District 13. And believe me, huge sound. They really, really are. I'm looking forward to doing the promos and everything for these guys because believe me, I think it's going to be a fantastic time for rock music as a whole. And what a great time to have District 13 joining us. It will be fantastic. We'd love to introduce you. Now, can we think about the prospects of getting past this COVID virus stuff and back down to work? am chomping at the bit. Believe me, bro, you don't know how much I miss getting this done. And I really want you to have a look at a number of the bands that we are planning on being here to New Zealand when the borders are open. Of course, there is restrictions. People are going to have their shots passport thing going on anyway, if you know what I mean. Not
happy. I'm so happy to show you. My wife just laminated mine.
Very cool. Very cool. Loving it. So believe me, bro, we would love to have you and, of course, Viking Queen. Now, I know that you're going to trip over there, do a show, you're going to be over there 1st of December?
Well, so that's what we're talking about. I haven't confirmed that yet, just simply because things are so in motion right now with everything that's going on. But yes, we're looking at that. We're looking at tickets to get over there. And I know that Viking Queen wants to do this big show, and I would love to be part of it.
You know, I'm very envious. I would love to be there myself. I really, really would. But keep us informed. Give us a video. Let's, share with it, even if it is after the fact. But please, share with me, please, because I would love to keep involved in that. And believe me, bro, it would be just an honour to watch you guys on stage performing. It really, really would. But yet again, I've got memories of Christmas time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, totally.
I really do.
A little foggy, but they're good. They're good ones.
They are. They deserve to be a little foggy, believe me. It was damn good. Michael King is joining us. Jorg, nice to have you on board again, Jorg. It really, really is.
Jorg, my brother. Jorg. Good to see you, bro.
It is. It really, really is. Now, I asked you earlier on, my friend, about you being a landscaper. So yeah. I think it's only natural that you would actually bring out a song about, well, gardens, to be honest with you.
It's perfect to be able to talk about the song with you today. As I'm doing some landscaping, as I'm pruning some bushes and putting all the leaves away. And so I'm so happy that you've been playing garden already, which is great. And I'm hoping that people are digging it. But garden's definitely got a story behind it.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I've just been told 877 requests so far and climbing, so not too bad, to be honest with you.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear that.
Oh, believe me, it's only just starting. It's taking momentum. When people really... Well, you see, the truth is, Tim, is that we have been playing it, yes, but we haven't told anybody anything about it.
Ah!
And people have been getting in touch with us, wanting to know who, what, when, where, how. Tell us about the lyrics, brother man.
Sure. My garden I wrote, I would say it's 1993 I wrote that song. And I wrote it at the tail end of the Paul Stanley deal, because not that the deal ever officially ended, but we knew that what we were doing with Paul had ended because the first Nirvana record was out, and our brand of rock and roll at the time, which was more sort of in the hair metal zone, Van Halen type of thing. It just suddenly it was just overnight when that album got released. Overnight, that was just like not cool anymore, and I didn't really feel like wearing a Mac jacket. And I didn't feel like just really playing my guitar really crappy. And I didn't really feel like just staring at my shoes the whole time that I was on stage. So, my garden was written out of anger because for me, the dream had died. And so that when you read the lyrics of that song, my garden was a place where the flowers grew, but it's choked with weeds since I learned the truth. My truth had kind of died in that time. And the band, was about to break up. It was sort of imploding. And so it was a very, very, very dark time. And so I wrote that song. Now, what's interesting is that I never really wanted to go back to that song because it kind of had bad memories. It kind of had these dark memories. As a matter of fact, I remember when I had my studio, it was in North Vancouver, And I remember listening to the song over and over and mixing, and I started to see like evil stuff out of the corners of my eyes. Like it was just like there was voodoo attached to that song. And so I just kind of put it on the shelf. But with the torch of rock and roll, it was just the perfect opportunity to bring it back. Now, as you know, Grant, I do a lot of work with people, and I do, coaching and personal development and these kind of things. And so, in the past, I would go, okay, the dark things, we need to ignore those, and we need to just focus on the positive things. But the fact of the matter is, as I've gone through this journey, I've realized that we are, just like when you walk in the moonlight or the sunshine or whatever, you got a shadow behind you. We all have a shadow. We all have a dark side. And so the reason that Garden was comfortable for me to bring forward was because I've made friends with that darker side of myself. Not only that, I wrote the song with my best friend and drummer, Jeff Warbeck, who's no longer with us. He passed of cancer in 2016. And so there's actually 3 songs on the record, Burden, of course, being one of them that you guys have so beautifully debuted, which we did, I think, at the very beginning of 2020, right? That was another one that I wrote with Jeff. So there's only one more left on this record, but this record is very much a tribute, at least those 3 songs, to that time. So that's kind of the history of Garden. Does that help you?
It really does. And in fact, your client said it is a monster of a rock song. Let's get it done. Here's the mighty one coming out of British Columbia, My Garden. Love this track, bro. I love this track.
I'm so glad to hear your fans are digging it too.
Yeah, they are. They really are, bro. But we've subjected our radio station to the mighty one for a little while now, so they're starting they're expecting stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, the exciting thing is we got so much more coming for them. Like the depth of this record, I wasn't even really aware of it until now. We start rolling them out, and I'm starting to realize what's actually there. There's a lot of peaks and valleys emotionally in this record.
On a Sunday, I might get a little bit of time away from the radio station and stuff, and I go and hang out with a friend of mine. We go and sit in his man cave garage and play darts, play pool, stuff like that, shoot the shit, right?
Yes.
And he's got a friend called Seamus. He's Irish, literally Irish. And Seamus was there, and he was going, Grant, the other day, I work with a guy, another Irishman called Paddy on we're builders. We work on the building site, right? And I went, yeah. And he says, well, the other day, a piece of slate slipped off the roof, whacked Paddy in the head, took off his ear. And I went, really? Seriously? He goes, yeah. He says, I picked it up, and I said to Seamus, I said to Paddy, is this yours? He says, the Irishman turned around and says, no. I said, what? He goes, no, mine had a pencil behind it.
Nice one. I love it. That's a good one.
It is, I wasn't sure whether he was joking or not, but okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you been getting out for a ride once in a while?
Every now and again. Yep. They undo the buckles on the straitjacket and let me out for
half an hour a week.
Yeah, half an hour a week, I'm told.
There you go. There you go. Fantastic. It looks like Barbara was giving me some video from the area as she was heading home last night, and wow, just what's so beautiful there right now. So green.
It is. And I saw the video. I know what you're talking about, but I'm very familiar with the road myself. I travel there all the time as well. You know what I mean?
It's winter's time still, right?
Spring.
It's spring now. Okay.
Yeah, and literally we did the daylight saving thing just last weekend.
That's why
That's
it's
what Barb
confused.
was saying. Yeah, that's why she had to change the time. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, have you ever saved much daylight yourself?
No, not myself. No. I like to fall back.
I went to my post office bank, Kiwi Bank, right? And back in the day, we used to have post books, savings books. You know, they write in manually what you put in and then give it the stamp and hand you back the book and everything like that. And I went into my bank manager the other day and he goes, daylight saving? I went, yeah. I says, tell me, how much did I save last year? He goes, hold on, I've got something here for you. And he buggers off out the back, comes back with one of these books, slides it across the counter at me, smiles and goes, there you go. And I opened it up and I went, hold on, there's nothing in it. He goes, yeah, that's right, full of daylight.
Hard to spend that daylight.
Yeah, bank a joke. Oh, okay. I tell you what, let's get rid of that and let's do this.
Galaxy.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Here at Galaxy 107 FM. Yeah, one of the long tails on it. Production hasn't worked on it properly or something. But we're joined this morning by the man himself, Tim Steinreich, coming out of the band The Mighty One, and very, very good family member to Galaxy. He really, really is. And it's a pleasure to play and also to catch up with Tim. Now, Tim, you were saying there's more to come. Now, believe me, that really excites me.
Oh yeah, no, there's absolutely so many more songs on this record. I'm not even sure which one we're going to go for next, but we might explore that shadow side a bit more. There's a couple songs that do that, so we might do that. Yeah. Right now, honestly, what I'm doing is I'm preparing to go on this tour. We're going on tour now. The thing is that the band is not coming with me on this particular one. So this is through the new record company, through Big Records. Big Records has a TV show that the president of this company has been working on since I think it's 2014. He started this thing, and it's called Rise Up TV. So it's a reality TV show. Now, he's done a number of tours. What he does is he rents a big tour bus, and he actually's rented two before, anyways, and fills it up with bands. And then they go out on the road with a camera crew and record all of the shenanigans that happen behind the scenes, a little bit of the show, but mostly the shenanigans behind the scenes. And it's part of a TV show that's on Roku TV. I'm not sure if you've got Roku there, but I'm sure you do. Okay.
No, we'll find it though.
Okay, yeah. So it's like a TV network, like a Netflix or something like that, right? And anyway, so it's on there. So I've been invited onto this tour, and I'll be performing. So it's 5 shows. I'll be performing about 15 or 20 minutes. I'll be doing a little bit of speaking and playing the acoustic guitar, playing Mighty One music, obviously. And then also, the cool thing is that when I'm not in front of the camera, I'm actually going to be behind the camera too. And going to help a little bit with tour management and things like that. So not only am I a character in the show, I'm also working as part of the production team, which is really exciting.
I love that. I really do. And believe me, bro, I'm a big fan of shenanigans. I really am.
I know you.
I kind of liken myself to King of Mischiefness. Figure that one out. Really am. Believe me, I'd really love to be able to do stuff like that. So any tips you can give me after that, let me know, because I would love to practice them on people as well. You know what I mean?
I'd love to perform some shenanigans with you.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Really have. Oh, Donnie Coulter says he's seen ads for that show. Well, there you go.
The Mighty One's going to be on it too.
Yeah, the Mighty One's going to be on it, and believe me, it's an absolute pleasure to have Donnie joining us as well. Creatures of Condition.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. And again, another great band. Really, really is. Right, we are going to have to wrap this up right now, but I am looking forward to catching up with you again in the near future. Let's not make it so long this time, my friend.
That sounds great. It sounds great. Yes, I apologize that it's taken so long for me to come back on, but as you know, we're really right now. There's been so much focus on making sure that this record gets out in North America. We've got a couple of companies that we're working with that I want to shout out to. One is Tinderbox Music, who I worked with in 2011 when we released the first two records. So they're doing a great job putting this out to radio. It's mostly university and the college and community radio. So and web radio like you guys. And then we're working with somebody else now that I can't really say who it is because I'm pretty excited about it, who is going to be taking it to FM mainstream radio and satellite radio. So we got some really exciting stuff going on, and so getting all these pieces in place has taken a little bit of time. And when there's a moment in between, then Bob and I have been working on pre-production for the next Mighty One record, which we'd like to release in 2023.
That excites me, it really does. Now, next time you see Bob, give him a poke in the eye for me, won't you?
I sure will. I'll say this is from Grant and poke him in the eye, and then he's going to punch me in the face.
Yeah, well, it happens because I'm not doing the poking. Literally. First thing you reach for, yeah, absolutely. Hang in there, my bro. But in the meantime, we'll switch over to the other studio. Here's an old classic, Talking Heads.